going to move now to our next guest, who is Robert Gregg, founder and CEO of Support to Other People. And Robert's here to talk to us about his organization is
Yes,
helping
ma'am.
young Black men with personal and professional development. We had you on last year, and you got something, event coming up yourself, Robert. But tell us
Yes.
about your organization and how you got it started.
Well, how I got my organization started was really following your footsteps, Miss Rolark. Um, some years back, I was with you volunteering at Blue High School for the Man to Man Conference. And when I was there for the 2 years, 2004, 2005, I believe it was, um, I started to notice that our students in Blue, especially young men, was very interested in the mentorship, the 1 day mentorship that we had. And after that, a few years after that, crazy story, one of the young men approached me walking down the street. He remembered me from the program. So he wanted something. He was like, "Are you guys gonna come back and do some more?" He'd say, "I like it, but we need more." And I was like, "Wow." They was listening. So I figure our young men, they need something. So I built this for our young men can have a place that they can come and they can have an outlet to talk and discuss issues that they may have.
That's amazing. That's fantastic because, as people are criticizing the mayor and the chief of police and others about what's happening, some criticizing, some praising,
Yes.
for really the hard line the city's about to take on youth and juvenile crime. We here at Let's Talk in the Washington Informer know that there are enormous amount of programs that are out here to support young people. And yours is one of those that, as you said, focuses specifically on
Yes,
young
ma'am.
men.
Yes.
So, and what do you find, Robert? I mean, people always ask why are these kids in the state that they're in, and some have talked about the pandemic. We talk about broken homes. We talk about homelessness. We talk about what some believe are lack of resources. What are they telling you?
I think this is my belief. I believe that our young men do not believe that no one wants to listen to them. They don't have a voice because we are taught as young men, we hold everything in. I think our young men need a place that they can come to and just express themselves and just talk. Because our young men, when they do react and all that anger is held in them, this is what we get. We get the anger on the streets, we get the guns, we get the fights, we get the robberies. If we can put them someplace and catch them early and just have them to, because we never know what's going on in their household. We don't know what happens. I see them at Ballou High School, but once they leave Ballou, and we don't know what troubles they're dealing with at home. We don't know, what they see when they're at home. So I know everyone say that it started at home first, but if they see um negative um um
Behaviors.
things, behavior at home,
Mhm, mhm,
that's what they learning from home.
mhm.
So they bring that from home to the streets. Every home is not perfect. So I want to tap into these young men who may be going through that,
You know,
because they feel they're being forgotten about.
yeah, it's interesting because you had to make it very clear to me that while you're a graduate, an alumnus of Ballou Senior High School, you're not in the school, you don't have a program at the school.
No,
You're
ma'am.
just an alumnus that's going back and trying to make a difference in young people's lives. And it's interesting because everybody thinks that somebody else is supposed to do something. And a lot of
Yes.
times it starts with us. And I'm glad that Ballou has welcomed you into the school to do this program. Last year was your first conference, Change and Move Forward, where you had the president of the Washington Commanders, Jason Wright, to speak to the young men
Young
about
men.
leaders and not followers. I mean, talk about the students' reaction to that and what you have planned for this year.
Well, last year with Mr. Jason Wright was very good. Mr. Jason Wright and I talked, and just listening to his story and his upbringing he grew up on the West Coast, and he explained to me how um, he was introduced and knew about the different gangs on the West Coast and how his father was very strict on him and got him through that. And I listened to his story, and then I told him, I said, "You're the first black man to lead a football team as a president. Your story need to be told. Can you come to my school and let them see you, let them hear you?" Because I know a lot of guys love football, and I knew with football, you put football and put that together, it went together. And we did have one of the young students that wanted Mr. Wright to follow up and to mentor him. We're still working on that. He was invited to Mr. Wright's suite, owner suite at the football stadium. Had a good time. But we're still working, trying to get him to connect more. And I told him that, it's a lot going on with the NFL and the football team.
No
So it
question.
will take him a little while. Just take him a little while to get. I'm gonna get back, Mr. Wright. That's not over with.
Oh, that's
So
great.
yeah,
That's
that's
great.
right. That's right. And this year, I'm doing something for the young men. Miss Miss Rolark, I was thinking, I was saying, a lot of young men, our young men in Ward 8. I grew up in Ward 8. I'm a Ward 8. I graduated from Ballou, went to Hart Middle School, Hart Junior High School. A lot of our young men is not interested about going to college. That
Mm-hmm.
may not be on their, after they get their diploma, they're like, I'm done with school.
Right.
And I said, but our young men need trade. They need a trade. They may be good with their hands, but they don't know it. A lot of our young black men, they're good at doing things, but we need someone to expose them to that. I want to expose the young men to something on a positive side. If I don't get to them, someone else my age may get to them and want to teach them how to carjack or how to do these things.
So,
We
what
should
is going to
not.
be your focus on the conference this year? Who are you planning to? Who are going to be your speakers or your speaker? What are you
My
bringing?
speakers are coming from the steam fitters they have 30 trades from electrical, HVAC, plumbing, all trades these young men could. It gives them a variety to pick and choose what they may like. It's just not one. So they have 30 different trades. The young men can have an opportunity to take a look and see what they may be interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm bringing the steam fitters, which is also a partner of the commanders, and I've run into a lot of people working with the commanders. That's one of the things I'm bringing to the conference on next Thursday, April the 11th at Ballou High School.
And so many people have been critical of the DC school system, even though they do have trade programs in some of the schools. But yes, I mean, bringing people into the school to show that, yeah, everybody may not want to go to college. Everybody may do a year of college and find out it's not for them. They want
Yes.
to, they leave and do something else. But we don't promote the trades like we should. And I appreciate the fact that you're doing that. And so, what has been the response from the young men that you work with? Are they looking forward and asking for something like this?
What you know what? Yes. You know what, Ms. Roland? Last year at the conference, I did a survey, and I had the young men just answer a few questions, and then I had two questions on the back page. What can I do more to help? And Miss Rolark, a lot of the young men are asking for help. They're
Mm-hmm.
really asking for help. And this is their own words. People don't know this.
Yeah.
If someone come and be consistent and sincere with them, they will reach out to you. We
Mm-hmm.
just have to just do it. And everybody's being afraid of them, but we should not be afraid of these young men. People being afraid because they think that they're, a menace to society. These young men is not that. They,
Right.
and I
Right.
look at them because I was just like them in Ballou High School.
Amazing.
I was
So,
just like them in Ballou.
Robert, what day? When is this conference or when is this workshop going to
The
be
worst.
held? And do you need any volunteers?
Well, I've been reaching out to. I have some volunteers.
Well, give us a
And
date first.
the date for Ballou is Thursday, April 11th at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and
Wonderful.
then right after that, I'm gonna be doing a inaugural ceremony announcement with the parents, the students, family and friends, and of course yourself and other um, community leaders. I would like for you guys to come. And then right after I do that, I'm gonna start the workshops. And I want to do the workshops with these young men and open up to them and hear their story.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
want to hear their story, you
Right.
know.
Right.
And that's the balance of what support to other people. If you go to the website and say, when you say the personal and professional, the personal, that's what this is. The personal is getting there and talk to them. The
Right.
professional part is getting different companies and trade schools like this to work with them. So you can't do one without the other. So I
Well,
want
and
to
you
balance this.
right, and you need someone to connect the dots because we have
Yes,
the trade union folks, and we've got the students. Somebody's got to bring them together.
bring them
So that
together.
you're
Yes,
the connector. So I'm really I praise you for being that in the second year in a row
yes, ma'am.
to have this program at Baloo, and hopefully we'll be able to track
You
the
see my picture
successes of
behind me?
that.
You see
I
my
do
picture?
see something behind you. Yep.
You see my picture? Miss Hutchinson. You see that
Okay.
picture? You
Yes.
see that young man? I'm sorry. You see that
Yes,
young man?
I do.
And I like that picture. It's on my website. And I have pictures of young men. They're in a thinking position.
I
They
got
have
you.
something on their mind. And I
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
like this picture here because that's the way our young men is. We
Right, right.
always thinking. We have things on our mind, but we don't have a place that we can share that information and talk about it instead of holding it in.
Well, like I said, thank you for connecting the dots. Thank you for being with us today. We, of course, will be with you
Yes, ma'am.
to cover your event and looking forward to seeing the success that comes out of it. So thanks for spending some time with us today to talk
Thank you.
about it. All
Thank you, Mr.
righty.
Malone.
Have a
Okay.
great one. Okie
Okay.
doke.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.